Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. I think the ages are 58 versus 27.
I think the important part there is that he's half Mike Tyson's age.
And Mike Tyson, from the way in, looks half his size. I don't know what that guy's on, what gear he's on, but it's freaking working. He is huge compared to Mike.
I mean, what sparked this fight? What was the catalyst that sparked this fight? I mean, why would a 58-year-old take on a 27-year-old? I kind of feel more invigorated because I'm 50, and I'm like, yeah.
So you're not 50, you're 19. You look 19, by the way. So awesome Netflix series that came out, and just following Jake Paul's boxing journey and how he came about to become a boxer, because he's a real boxer. It's not a show anymore. Maybe the first 2-3 fights, how it came about, that was your question.
Yes.
And the answer is he became this massive YouTuber from, doing really dumb shit on camera, getting a lot of following to really starting to make a lot of money from AdSense. He started understanding the algorithm and he became massive, huge following, massive YouTuber, very famous, ended up on Disney, on the Disney Channel, very short Disney career, climbed off and just did crazy stuff, made lots of money. Then another massive YouTuber called him out and they started having this public banter. I don't know if it was organized behind the scenes, which I think it was.
Yeah.
Where me and you are going to have this massive beef on camera. We're homies, but it's good for business.
Yes.
And eventually they said, well, we need to fight because that's the only way men really go and resolve issues. That's the only way it should be. So they arranged a boxing match where Jake Paul beat the living shit out of this guy, like really bad. So
was the other guy a boxer?
No, also a YouTuber.
Okay, so none of them were boxers.
No, none of them come from a fighting background.
Did they do it MMA style or boxing style? Boxing style with gloves.
Proper boxing style with gloves. Then Jake Paul got called out by another guy, also another famous YouTuber, and then he got called out by another guy, and he just kept beating the shit out of everybody, and then he got called out by a ex-MMA fighter that fought in the UFC. Okay, so this is
a winner or a mediocre?
No, winner, proper guy, but boxing match.
Okay.
So sort of similar to what Conor did with Money Mayweather.
Yeah.
Same type of a build up on YouTube, huge pay-per-view, and Jake Paul knocks the shit out of this guy. And then a second guy and a third guy. And that's when people are like, okay, this boy has real skills.
Yes.
So
had he gone for any kind of boxing training?
100%.
Okay.
He trains with the best. So remember, money gives you access.
Yes.
I learned a cool thing this morning in our training. The better you become, the higher quality your coaches become.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Look, I know you.
Well, I know you. So you've been coaching me for many, many years. But the better you become at your craft, the higher the skill set of the coach that you have access to. Big head. Now, I'm a proper fighter. I'm not a YouTuber.
Start getting a bit of an ego.
Moves to Costa Rica and has his first Ayahuasca experience with I think it's called a shaman.
With mushrooms.
No, Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is also a plant, but you can either smoke it, and then
they go into a tent.
Yes,
and then they steam this. It's almost like hot boxing.
Yes, 100%. Or you make tea out of it.
Yes.
And the tea is like the vicious one because it goes all in your liver and in your organs and everything has an effect. But what everyone says, and Joe Rogan speaks about it all the time, is when you have a Ayahuasca experience, you have clarity.
Okay.
Except in some dodgy areas, I think it's in South America, where the shamans sexually abuse the people that are out of it for a while. That's messed up, yeah. So there's lots of that shit going on. But the one that
somebody will always it up somewhere. Someone will screw it up.
So while you're busy
For everybody.
he has this Ayahuasca experience, and he says the first thing that he realizes is, I need to fight Mike Tyson. Yeah, I need to fight Mike Tyson. So when he comes around and he's himself again, so people go for this.
Has he ever lost up to this point?
No,
No.
unbeaten.
Unbeaten.
And formidable. He's got like the most vicious right hook out of hell, my friend, and he's a big boy. He's a heavy guy. So comes about and he says, this is my purpose in life. This is the next thing that I have to do, because on a trip on Ayahuasca, you get clarity and you realize what is actually important
Yeah.
going forward, your future. So you have this out of body experience, hopefully with a shaman that's trustworthy, that doesn't abuse you. But he says, I need to fight Mike Tyson. And then he calls him. He's like, listen, Mike, Jake Paul here, me and you need to have a fight. So I'm going to try and do my best, Mike Tyson. He's like, yeah, man, let's do it. So he speaks like a 14-year-old girl, and they agree to this fight. Now,
Mike doesn't sound the way he looks.
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Sign the contract, big boy. They set this up, and supposedly it's going to be the biggest boxing event of any boxing event in history. But
And this is happening Friday.
this Friday, and everybody's like on two sides. I ran lots of polls on my Instagram. Tyson versus Jake Paul, who do you think wins? Like 88% of the people say Mike Tyson, and I am a huge Mike Tyson fan. I've watched, there is nothing that I haven't seen from Mike Tyson, but he is 58, going up against a young man,
27-year-old beast.
in his prime,
Yeah.
a beast that's very well funded. He doesn't need to do this for the money, even though they're probably going to make hundreds of millions of dollars, but actually enjoys fighting and enjoys the sport and hasn't lost.
Yeah.
What's your thought?
Firstly, my late dad was a boxer.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot taller than me.
Okay.
And big man. Him and his brothers were boxers, and very rarely lost a fight.
Wow.
Never. They were. What do you call it? Amateur
boxers.
Amateur
Yes.
boxers. So never went professional, but they were boxers. And the stories my dad told me about if you're a boxer, don't get into a bar brawl.
Okay.
Apparently, it's illegal.
If you enjoyed the piece of content and you would like to see the full episode, simply follow the instructions on the screen. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.